been a big proxy season for a whole variety of different reasons, but today we had two annual meetings come up at the same time, almost within the same hour. Chevron was down in San Ramon, California, and Amazon was right here in Seattle, Washington. So our proposal at Chevron was actually asking for the right for shareholders to call a special meeting at a threshold of 10% of shareholders. Right now it's 50% higher than that, 15%. That's hundreds of millions of shares that are necessary in order to convene a special meeting. Now, companies get the chance to have a meeting anytime they want. So they control not only the timing, but also the agenda of what's on for that meeting. Shareholders need that same right to be able to talk about things when we need to, and with us controlling the agenda. Is particularly important at a company like Chevron, where there have been some major issues that have cost dearly. In the early 2000s, I think 2001, Chevron acquired Texaco, and Texaco had been responsible for seismic pollution in the Ecuadorian rainforest in the Amazon, and they have waged this phenomenal decades-long legal battle to try and fight any responsibility for what Texaco did. We think that's wrong, not just from a moral perspective and an environmental harm perspective, but actually also from a shareholder profitability perspective. Our presenter down in California had this to say: "No one expects Chevron to meekly roll over, but our company did accept responsibility when it purchased Texaco. And it's true that a settlement decades ago, when this began, would have cost less probably than the sum of all the high-priced attorneys over the past quarter century. You know, those poor people in Ecuador did suffer real and genuine harm, while Texaco and now our company made profits. So we suggest that a reasonable party would see benefit in extending a helping hand while also curtailing future costs. How best to achieve such an outcome is what shareholders need access to a special meeting to discuss, because it's clear that the liability of potential judgments against our company has mounted exponentially during the decades that Chevron's management has hot-headedly pleaded innocence." So there's a brand new CEO at the helm at Chevron, and we had hoped that there might be an opportunity for a new direction, a new way of thinking about these issues and other things that are arising out of the operations. Unfortunately, it appears from statements made at the annual meeting this morning that they're going to stay the current course and continue fighting against all odds, against assuming any responsibility. So the final vote tally, as submitted to the Securities and Exchange Commission on Chevron, was 34%, which is quite an outstanding outcome. But when you consider how many shares are controlled directly or indirectly by management, 34% is most likely an overwhelming majority of the independent and informed shareholders. So we're quite pleased with today's outcome. That's the update on Chevron.